Okay, and now for the fun part of actually setting up your Facebook campaign and getting your ads running. So to do this, we are going to use Power Editor. So back over to the three-dash menu thingy and down to your Power Editor. And this is where the magic really starts to happen. It's very important that you follow all the previous steps first though, so we can do this quite effortlessly and quite seamlessly. Rookie mistake that I've made before is to be in the wrong advert account and to get all the way through this process and realise I've set the ads running for the wrong advert account. So make sure you're in the correct one. And then you'll see at the top we have campaigns, we have advert sets, and we have adverts. And we are literally going to do this one by one in order. So create campaign is where we start. And this is the scaffolding for the campaign, if you like. So I'm just going to do Members Club, training campaign. Is that how you spell campaign? Yes. Bidding type auction, yes. Objective, now usually this is to drive traffic to your website. If you just want to extend your reach, then that's an option. Send them to a particular product, boost a particular post, just get page likes, get people to claim your offer, install your app, make people who are local to your business more aware that that's where you are, lead generation, which is capturing email addresses, getting people aware of your event and responding to your event, more app stuff, conversions, brand awareness. Generally speaking, I stick to traffic. Then your advert set is geared around the audience that you're sending your traffic to. So if we're going to test lots of different audiences, then I would put in here test audience 1, and perhaps that's female dancers or whatever that is. And then your advert would be contemporary dance class, maybe that's what we're doing. Okay, so just name them as is appropriate. I do have a tendency to edit these later when I've got some more tangible results on my campaigns, and then I can name them to something that I recognise. So then we hit create. That's your campaign, that's your scaffolding built. Now, navigating tip coming up. Set your campaign spending limit so that you don't go flying over what you're meant to be spending on yourself and your business. And then to get to the advert set, so you think of these as in levels. Campaign, underneath that level is advert sets, underneath that level is adverts. In order to navigate and make sure that you're setting up the right advert sets in the right campaigns, click on the campaign name and it will take you to the advert set level. You see how this has popped up now? So this has picked up the advert set that we put in before. Traffic we're sending to a website. Daily budget, this is just splitting up the £500 budget that we set in the campaign, and you can adjust this as necessary. If you want to start your ad straight away, leave this as is. If you want to schedule them to start perhaps next week, you can do that. And if you've got a particular end date, this is where you would select your end date. So you're just running a 10-day campaign, that's how you'd set that up. Otherwise, you can just click don't schedule end date and just keep it running. Okay, so here are your audiences. Now, custom audiences, if you've already made a custom or a lookalike audience, you can select them from here. Some of you who are using the old dashboard, saved audiences will also appear next to it. For those of you who are on the new dashboard, your saved audiences appear here, if you've already created those. If you don't have an audience that you want to use, then this is auto set up to create a brand new audience. So we can go through that whole process that we just did before in the audience tabs and put in your niche demographic and your targeting information here. And Facebook will actually tell you whether it thinks your audience is too broad or too specific. So if I select one of those audiences, the Kate Moss one, for example, Facebook is happy with this. It's telling me, yes, your audience is defined and your potential reach is 230,000 people. That's fab. If Facebook is telling you your ad is too broad or too specific, pay attention because it might cost you money. Placement, very important. Facebook recommend automatic placements. I do not. I like to click the edit placements button. Now, depending on what you're running your advert for, and this is obviously very specific to the individual, but general rule of thumb, I deactivate Audience Network because I think it's too expensive. On Facebook, I also deactivate the right column. And I tend to run separate campaigns for Instagram and Facebook because I find that for me, my audience respond to different images and different text depending on which platform they're viewing the advert. So it's up to you here, but you could choose to deactivate Instagram, or if you want to run the same advert on Facebook and on Instagram, then keep those selected. Okay, optimization and delivery. You do want to optimize for link clicks, because if you remember in the campaign stage, we specified that we were driving traffic. That was the objective. So Facebook has automatically assumed that we want to optimize for link clicks, which is the same. If you picked a different type of campaign, then it might select something else for you here, and you're welcome to play around with these, but generally link clicks is what we're going for. We want people to click. Let Facebook bid automatically. Keep your delivery type as standard unless you want to play around with the accelerated option. Not something I recommend unless you're an experienced Facebook advertiser. And that is pretty much it for your advert set. Now we get into creating the adverts. And again, that little tip to make sure you're navigating within the correct campaign, click on this one, and it will take you down to the advert level. Okay, so now we are in advert. So advert name preset from what we did before. Destination for your Facebook page, you would pick your Facebook page from your drop-down list. And remember, we set this up in the very first video. If you are advertising on Instagram, you'd have to have selected this option in the advert set, but then your Instagram ad would appear here. You can create advert or you can boost an existing post. If you're going to boost an existing post, please make sure that it is an advertising eligible post, as in there's not too much text in the image and that the text is geared as ad copy and not as general chit chat with your audience. I have a tendency to always click on create advert because it forces me to get into the advert state of mind. For training on creating images for your ads and putting together your ad copy, see the other training videos. So advert with an image or video, obviously always a good one. You'd select your image or you'd upload your video here. Wait it loads, select video, create a slideshow. You can create adverts with multiple images, as I'm sure you've all seen on your Facebook ads. This is recommended. It's recommended more specifically for product-based businesses, but they can be quite effective if you want to show lots of different elements of your offerings, and this is what it looks like. You get your preview over here. Manually choose your videos, and you can choose it to automatically fill. Now, if we're doing multiple images here, we just scroll down a little bit, and this is where you select the images for all the different cards. So these are the cards that you scroll through. Each card has different text. Blah. Send it to a website URL and then add the heading. So members, I'll just put members club, your business mindset coach. Obviously you fill this in as is relevant. Automatically show best performing card. Your display URL is what they actually see. So if you're perhaps sending them to an affiliate link or to a booking website that just doesn't have a pretty name, then you might just want to put in your actual web address here. So that's what it looks like to them. That's where they think they're going, even if it's a variation of that. Just scroll back up. There's some recommendations here on pixels, but again, see my other video for training on how to create your Facebook images. Select different cards. Okay, and then you would upload your image, etc., etc. I'm hoping this all makes sense. Again, different headline for different image and a different description. Scroll. Your call to action. Learn more is usually a good one. Download is normally a good one. Book now. Shop now. Sign up does have a tendency to put people off because they automatically assume they're going to get spammed, which I found really, really interesting. You can also opt to have no button. Shop now, again, people are wary of putting their card details into anything, and they assume that by clicking on this button they're going to have to do that. So learn more is usually the most effective one. Or if you're asking people to get in touch, then use the contact us button and make sure that URL is going to a place where they can actually contact you. Your tracking, okay, this is why we set up your Facebook pixel, because we want to track everything using your Facebook pixel. And then when you're all happy with this and you've tested everything here, I'm actually just going to switch this back over to something that's a little bit easier to navigate. Okay, so say I've set this up on my desktop newsfeed. This is the sample that I'm getting. So I've got my ad text here, my ad image, my headline, my description, my URL, and my button. This is what it would look like. And on my mobile newsfeed, that's what it would look like. On my feature phone, that's what it would look like. And in my instant articles, this is what it would look like. When you're all happy with your adverts, you review changes, and this is what uploads it. You would click continue to send them live to Facebook. I'm not going to do that now, obviously. Now, say we want to test in adverts 2 different types of images. So we would create an additional advert using the existing campaign and the existing advert set that we've just set up. We would go through the whole process again, but we'd put a different image into the advert set. Now, say we wanted to create the same advert, but going to a different advert set, we would create a new advert set and say we were sending this to men rather than women, or parents rather than singletons, for example. You create, and again, you go through exactly the same process. A really quick workaround is to use the duplicate button and then to edit the options once you're in. Once you're happy with all of your adverts and your advert set, so it might be that you've got 1 campaign, you have 2 advert sets and perhaps 4 adverts, 2 for each advert set, you hit the review changes button. That is your absolute basic introduction to Facebook adverts. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to be introducing more and more videos on split testing, on your analytics, on audience insights, on canvases, and all the updates as they come out. I will be updating this album. I hope for now that's got you started. Don't forget, these trainings are completely 100% backed up by me, so you have access to me as a member. I try to keep them as concise as possible so that you're not wasting time in front of really lengthy videos. If there's something you didn't get, if there's something you need help with, just ask me. That's what I'm here for. You've joined this club because you need fast, speedy results with dedicated, personalised support, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do for you guys here. So good luck with those trainings. Let me know how you get on. When you need me, just holler. I am totally all over your Facebook ads. I love you loads, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.